Sword behind me is probably one of the crazier things that I've made. But in 2013, I got a Fulbright research grant, and I ended up at a museum called the Vasa Museum in Sweden, and I helped them to recreate a 17th century bronze cannon that fires a 24-pound cannonball about 2 miles. And I made almost the whole thing front to back for archaeological testing. And we fired it 55 times on an artillery testing range with Doppler radar and all sorts of stuff to watch each shot and high-speed footage and things. So it was legitimate scientific research. The blacksmith in history was kind of typically a little bit of a mythological figure in their own society. I mean, the blacksmith himself in a town kind of was akin to a sorcerer or a wizard, because no one really knew how they did what they did, because they often worked at night, because it's easier to see the metal. You know, you had maybe songs or something to time certain things that people could perceive as spells or something like that. So it ends up with this very kind of mythical context across time. You know, blacksmithing is a lineage. It's not a lot of text for metalsmiths and blacksmiths across the ages. It's very much always been an oral tradition or a physical tradition where, you know, secrets and ideas and processes are passed down. They are, and kind of like the torch is passed versus being able to read a manual and figure it out. I came to SIU because SIU offers the only Masters in Blacksmithing in the United States, and it's only one of 3 programs in the world. The blacksmithing, knife making, metalsmithing world wouldn't be what it is today without this space and this shop. Pretty much all the technical innovation from the 1970s and 80s came from SIU. To have something with this sort of caliber of facility, the SIU shop here is very well equipped. It has a lot of tools and a lot of versatility to do a lot of different processes and ideas and projects. And we have access to it 24 hours a day for 5% of the cost of any other private university. So it really does make a lot of sense to be here for me. And I've been fortunate that I've gotten to go around the world to do specific metalworking projects throughout history. One was in a town in Turkey called Cappadocia. We just happened to see what we thought looked like maybe an antique store in this little town, like this little kind of like thing. He had a bunch of tools out on tables on the street, and we went in, and it was a blacksmith who was making bronze locks and restoring old blades. And we had a long conversation with him, and it was really like nice. Because also the interesting thing about blacksmithing is that, or craft in general, is that when you meet a craftsperson from another part of the world or culture, even if you don't come from the same place, you speak a similar language that's kind of endemic to what you both do. And that sort of transcends the cultural boundaries or language boundaries, because you can talk about the things that are in front of you and you both know how they got made. Or you can ask questions about the material or process and things like that, and you can understand them through like physical objects. Every person that you are going to meet who's a maker is going to have different ideas about how to make things and what the best way to make things are, and you, in the moment, should listen to what they have to say and then take it back and dissect it and see what parts of it you liked and didn't like. But in the moment, just listen to them. They have experience, and their process is based in their experience. And if they've had a career that you haven't had yet, you should listen to them. So paying attention to what everybody has to say, I know has been really valuable for me. And it's gotten me out of a lot of sticky situations in making things. And I think that is kind of like the biggest misstep that a lot of new makers make, is not paying attention to what everybody has to say.